Welcome, guys. So glad you could join us today as we dive into the world of Rapid City Marshals. Hosted by myself, C. Green, Marshals Law on Shady Sports Network brings you exclusive interviews, game analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories of these remarkable athletes and coaches. Get ready to witness the power, passion, and determination of the Rapid City Marshals as they rewrite the rulebook and enforce their own brand of justice on the field. This is Marshals Law on Shady Sports Network. Let's bring the law to the game. This show is sponsored by WeatherTight. Stay protected, rain or shine. What's good, y'all? Welcome to episode 7 of Marshals Law on Shady Sports Network. I'm your host, C. Green. We got Mr. Sam Shady himself producing. And on today's show, we got a special episode for you guys. We'll be joined by the people working hard to make sure we're having a great time at all these games. The Rapid City Marshals game day ops people. So I'm talking John Frazier, who is the Marshals equipment manager. He also helped install the field. Brandon Boit. Let me go back, Sam. All right, Brandon Boit is the Marshals Bring the Noise, crowd engagement, and also helps install the field. Chad Koscak, Marshals hype man, and Wyatt Turf, we'll find out about that. Dustin James, who is Marshals in-game announcer. Well, we'll go ahead and get started with John Frazier. John Frazier is the Marshals equipment manager, and from what I'm being told, he also helps install the field. What's up, John? What's up?
Hey, how you doing, T? Nice. Glad to have. Thank you for having us on. And I really appreciate that. So
definitely, man. Hey, I hear you, bro. I get stumped all the time. Don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, hey man, I hear that you're the equipment manager, which is amazing because you're the one that's keeping these guys ready to go. So I'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Anything else you want to add in on top of this, let me know. So for my first question, how did you get started as the equipment manager for the Marshals?
I have experience doing equipment managing from the early 2000s when they had a team here before called the Black Hills Red Dogs, and I got on with that team then, and of course a lot of time had lapsed between then and now, and a good friend of mine was the coach for the past 2 seasons, and I reached out to him and asked him if he needed anyone to help out just with whatever, just volunteering my time, and so that's how I got involved with the Marshals.
That's awesome, man. Honestly, like, I feel like in these past few years, I've been hearing from a lot of people, you just kind of find that need, you know what I mean? Find that need and fill it. So that's cool to hear that you're like, hey, how can I be involved with the Red Dogs? And it carried over. As far as like installing this awesome turf field that you guys are playing on, what are some challenges you face when installing that?
One of the things we found out right away was having manpower, because there's 14 pieces, and each of those pieces are approximately about a ton each, and so just having the manpower to physically roll them out. Of course, we have a forklift and things like that, but really it's all about brute strength. Just getting as many guys as we can to help us. And sometimes there's 4 guys, and sometimes there's 15 guys. So we just kind of roll with it. Whoever can help at that time, but we have a plan set for each time that we lay down the field, and kind of a time frame. We all the rolls of turf they're numbered already, so we know which one goes where. But usually it's just the manpower, getting the manpower to help with that. So
Dang, man, that takes a lot. Aside from the equipment alone, just the field in itself, I can imagine as a job. How long does that take you to install? I know it's a little bit off kilter, but how long does it take you to install that field?
Anywhere between an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, just depending on who we have, on the floor helping us, pushing the rolls. So it just varies. Varies.
Okay, and can you share a memorable moment you've experienced while working with the Marshals so far?
Yes. A few months back, coming here to the monument, I'm parked in the parking lot, but coming here to the monument arena and seeing the Marshals logo on the jumbotron, and then seeing the AFL logo below that, it really it let me know at that point that Rebecca and Wes and the coaching staff, they mean business. They really want to do something big here. So in turn, it made me want to step up my game even more and be just as professional as well. And so yeah, that's probably my most memorable moment is seeing the level that they wanted to take it to firsthand walking into the press conference. And so that was really has stuck in my head. So
nice. Okay, man. I mean, aside from having that moment stuck in your head, is what's something that you really enjoy about working for the Marshals?
Just meeting the new players that come into town, meeting the new staff, talking to the fans, because we'll get like fans that will want us to hold their little kid over the wall and play catch with them or something before the game starts, things like that. And so just kind of the interaction with the community is really uplifting. That's what big part of what I enjoy about it.
Okay. And then, so how do you ensure that the equipment is always in top condition for these players?
Arriving to the arena 3 to 4 hours early, I just make sure that I'm visible to the players, make sure that my equipment, my drills and everything that I use to work on the equipment is ready to go, and doing walkthroughs to the offensive locker rooms and the defensive locker rooms, and just checking in with the players there in the locker rooms, and then as well as on the warm-ups, during the warm-ups on the field, just kind of keeping an eye on every player and seeing if they might have issues with something. If I notice it, then I'll approach them and say, hey, do you need help with something? It looks like you're struggling with that. And so just kind of staying on top of it in that way, and yeah, just being present always.
There you go. Is there any special techniques or tools that you use when installing the field? I know you mentioned the forklift.
Yeah, the forklift. We because of the weight of each piece of turf being about a ton, we're using just our hands to roll it out, and then just kind of wave it like you were putting a blanket on a bed, and then let the air get underneath it, and then it kind of floats in place and locks into where you need it to be. And so so there's not really any special tools or anything per se, but it's just again, just manpower, just to piece all of them together in line and making sure that the right pieces are, they're in order. And so, yeah.
There you go. And I mean, I'm listening to you, man. You're saying you're showing up, 3-4 hours ahead of time. It takes 2-3 hours to set this up and, a couple hours to do this. I mean, how important is your role in contributing to the success of the team, would you say? Because, I mean, to me, it sounds like it's very important.
Yes. For me personally, and this is a personal level, I've lived here in Rapid City since, well, basically all my life, since 1998 or 1988, and so I'm a part of this community, and to get to be part of an organization that wants to do something really amazing for the community here. I get questions asked a lot, especially from, so I'm Native American, and so I get questions from my community about attending games. Of course, everyone wants a free, game ball or something, but just being in just living here and people seeing me on the field, interacting with the players, and they're like, "Hey, man, I want to get involved too. How can I do that?" And so there again, just being part of the community, bringing the community, connecting it with the Marshals is what I try and do. I'm always talking about the Marshals.
Nice.
I'm always talking about when the games are going to be, when they start, when the season starts, and things like that. I'm always talking to someone about Marshals.
There you go. Is there a way that people can reach you on social media?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I have a Facebook page. Yes, just go to my Facebook page there, and yeah, you can definitely reach out, and yeah, love to just to get to know more people, and bring them into the arena here and have them be part of it, So
There you go.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, John. Well, any other thoughts? Any last words before I let you go?
Yeah, I just I want to thank Rebecca and Wes for always including me in things like this, with the interview, and always just being there as far as letting me be involved in not just the on-field situations or behind the scene events and things like that. I get to be involved in the community connection aspect, as far as again, letting people know about the Marshals. And so I'm really makes me feel good. I feel like I'm part of a family when I come here to the arena, or when I talk with Rebecca or Wes, and I just feel like it's a family thing for me. And so, yeah, I just wanted to leave with that. So thank you very much.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all that you do, John. I'm sure we'll have you back on as we go throughout the season.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a great day. All right, guys, that was amazing. That was John Frazier, Marshall's equipment manager. And then, like I said, he also helps install the field. It sounds like he's actually over that. We have another guy who helps install that field coming up. We have Brandon Boit. This is the Marshals Bring the Noise guy. He's over crowd engagement. So I'm going to let him tell us a little bit more about that. What's going on, Brandon?
Good. You?
I'm great, man. Thanks for joining us on Marshals Law.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'll go ahead and get right into it, man. How'd you become involved in crowd engagement during games?
So I used to work for our local hockey team that we have here in town, and once I heard that we were getting a football team here, I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to get my foot in the door. I wanted to expand my gig a little bit more than just hockey. So I called the owners beforehand and explained to them what I did, and they sounded interested, and here I am going in my third season with the Marshals, and it's just been fun ever since. So
there we go. I mean, I don't want to take some of your secrets, but I mean, can you tell us some strategies you use to get the crowd excited during these games?
Oh yeah. So before the game, I like to go out on the field before the game and get them riled up. Use this sign behind me, get them loud. I'm always carrying T-shirts. They go crazy for T-shirts, so I'm always throwing the T-shirts out in the crowd just to get them loud. And then during the games, I'll go section to section, doing 24,000 steps a night, pretty much running around and all that, just getting them riled up. When the Marshals are on defense, I'm getting the defense chant going, and I'm always doing something in the crowd to have them be loud.
There you go, man. Just bringing that energy. Can you share a particularly memorable moment that you had with the crowd?
I got a couple. I think we were playing Billings, and a ball went over the field or in the stands, and a little boy got it. Well, the little boy in the next section over wanted the football, but he didn't get it, and he's just bawling, and it broke my heart. And I know how bad he wanted a football and all that. So I went over to John Frazier and asked for a football, and went over there and gave that little kid a football, and tears dried up just like that, and had a big smile on his face. So that's what I like to do. I like to make people happy at the games and all that. So that was probably my favorite one that I've had happen.
There you go. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Those guys, especially the little ones, man. That's amazing. I got this next one. So yeah, I mentioned that you help with the field installation as well. How do you kind of balance those duties? I mean, is there one you tend to focus on more, or how do you go about that?
So there's times before games on a Saturday, we'll set the field up on a Friday evening or early Saturday morning. So I'll get up, early Saturday morning, help the guys out, and then right after that, go home, relax for a bit, and then go back down to the arena. And then right after the game, we're tearing down the field right after the game too. So it evens out it pretty well. So
that's awesome, man. I really like how all you guys just have this do whatever it takes mentality.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I kind of see, but let everybody else out there know what motivates you to bring that energy and excitement to the Marshals game.
I think it's just the crowd interacting with me and having fun and being loud and seeing their smiles on their face and going crazy over a shirt or a football or whatever I'm throwing out to the crowd. And it brings me joy. It's not about the pay. It's about just going out there and making yourself look like a fool and having fun with them and all that. And that's what I really enjoy doing.
There you go, man. And I know you mentioned earlier, you're over like 20,000 steps. Is there any specific routines you follow or specific rituals you have before engaging with the crowd?
I just like to get to the arena early and just kind of sit and relax, watch the players warm up a little bit, kind of get my mindset on, what I'm going to do, or kind of get in the groove of things. Basically that's about it. Same routine every day. Put some music in, get pumped up. It's fun. So
okay. I mean, it sounds like a fun gig. How do you gauge the success of your crowd engagement efforts?
Probably with the sign. Just have them make some noise, be loud, yell.
There you go. Do you make your own signs?
Yeah. So I get this one made at a sign place here in town in Rapid. So, but this one is from last year. It's signed from the last year's team. So this year I'll be getting a new one, more fancier one this year. So.
Okay. Do you have like any instruments or like noisemaker machines or anything that you use?
Just my voice.
There you go. Hey, that's a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Well,
by the other night, I don't have a voice, so.
There you go. Do you have like one of those giant like cone you should see like?
No.
No, we gotta get you one, man.
That'd be good. I might have to.
Yeah, right.
Good idea.
Well, any last thoughts? Any last words before we let you go?
I also, just like John, I want to say, Rebecca and Wes, they've done just an outstanding job to this organization. since day one that they took over. And I don't feel like they hear a lot about it. They're the only two in the office that are constantly working day in, day out, 24/7. It seems like they travel from Gillette to here to work, and they're just an outstanding people to work with. And ever since then, the atmosphere with the Marshals with them, it keeps going up and up. And I'm excited to look forward to this year and see what they have planned with us. And so I just want to thank them for involving me on events, community events, being part of the team. And like John said, yeah, it feels like we are just a big family, and it's pretty nice.
There you go, man. They say it takes a village, and it's cool that it sounds like all you guys are kind of tuned in and on the same page. So that's awesome to hear, like, just to hear like that throughout all of these interviews, not just this one, I'd say, and all of them coming up. I'm pumped and excited for this season, man.
Oh yeah, I'm way beyond excited for this season. So,
had something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just want to encourage everyone to come check out the games this season. It's going to be a blast. Going in this new league, it's going to be high scoring, high pace. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I want to pack that place. I want it to be loud. I want to be the loudest arena that these people come and play and just have fun. That's all I want. So I want everybody to show up, support us, and just be loud.
There you go, man. I mean, yeah, because you're gonna have some, I'd say a little bit higher profile games this season as well, too, right? So,
oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm excited to see what you guys are gonna bring. I'm excited to see what you're gonna bring. You better make them bring that noise, man, because I'm sure you're gonna pack the house out.
Oh yeah. When we get that TV game, you won't be able to hear. So.
There we go. Heck yeah. There you go. Any new signs you're gonna be breaking out this season?
A couple. I don't know yet. I've been kind of working on them, so we'll see what I come up with. So. There
we go. And can people reach out to you on social media? You got any social media pages?
Yep. I just got Facebook, and they can look me up, Brandon Boit, if they want to get a hold of me and talk Marshall stuff or want to become part of the team. Just add me on Facebook, and I'll be back, and we'll get you where we need to get you. So.
There we go, man. We'll get you a noise squad going into the season. Get that built up. You guys heard them, right? Get the noise squad going. So you guys out there listening and out there in Rapid City, reach out to these guys definitely. Hey, thanks for coming on, Brandon.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to the next time.
Yes, sir. I'll see you. We'll get you back on here throughout the season. I'll have some signs made, and maybe I can, we'll get you on here, get something going.
Heck yeah.
All right. Have a great one, Brandon. Oh man, this has been a great episode, guys. We're gonna keep it going. Like I said, we got the Rapid City Marshals game day ops people. So these are the guys that are making it happen. Next up, we got Chad Koscak. I think I said that right. I'll let him correct me when he gets on here. But he is the Marshals hype man, so he'll go ahead and hype it up and tell us what Wyatt Turf is all about. How's it going, Chad?
Hey, good. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Did I say your last name right?
No, but it's okay. Nobody does. It's all right.
There we go. That's why I just put C Green for my first. No one gets absolutely. My first name right. So all right, man. So I guess we'll just jump right into it. How did you land the role of the Marshals hype man?
Well, that was persistence, I guess. It was one of those. I wanted to get involved with the team, and previous leadership, I kept calling, and they'd say, "Yep, okay, yeah, we should talk, yeah." And then I'll call you tomorrow or next week, and I'd never hear from anybody. So I'd call back a month later, call back, and eventually I actually got hired on to be a sales guy, like trying to help with promotions. And so great, loved it. Started doing that. That was right at the beginning of the season, and they had a on-field hype person. Who was already a friend, and he worked with the Gillette Mustangs, or the Wyoming Mustangs. I don't remember what the name was at the time. And so he could only do that first game, and then he had to go work for the other team. So I couldn't put my hand up fast enough and be like, I can do this. I've hosted some other stuff before. I can do it. They were like, okay, let's see if you can do it. And then it was okay, all right. And thankfully I had that other. Our other hype guy to help lead me into it. Okay, I need to bring this level of energy. So I had to keep myself really amped up, and it just became natural to me. where
there you go.
Once we got to game day, it's just the persona comes out, and that's where Wyatt Turf came. It was, Chad isn't very exciting, but we did a contest and let's get a name, and Wyatt Turf, fun football character kind of name. So that's who I am at football games, is just Wyatt, and it's just go, and it's I'm thankful that when Western Brecca came on, that they were like, yeah, you're doing a good job, keep doing it. I don't know if I'm doing a good job, but I'm trying hard. I don't know.
Hey, it sounds like you are, man. I was gonna ask about Wyatt Turf. That's cool. So you said you guys had a fan competition for that?
We kind of felt like me just being Chad wasn't very interesting, kind of. So it's I proposed, or somebody, I don't remember exactly who it was or how it all came, but it was, maybe we should do a contest and let's put it out to fans and put it on all the Marshall social on who what my character, the on-field guy, should be. And I think we had like 110 names that were suggested. We whittled that down to 5, and then we put a vote out to fans, and eventually we came down to Wyatt Turf.
Okay. I was gonna ask, because I see the hat behind you.
That's always on. Game days, that's always on.
There we go.
My red and white overalls that I wear, I make sure I am very noticeable during games.
Okay. So essentially, you're just a walking, breathing mascot.
I've been asked a million times, or told that I'm the mascot, or asked if I'm the mascot, and I am not. I'm just, I'm just there. I am kind of the Marshal, but I am not the Marshal.
I'm looking at the Marshall logo behind us. I'm looking at your hat. I'm not putting two and two together.
One may have led to the other. I don't know. It's kind of I kind of just sort of, like, I feel like I should have a costume of some kind. I don't know. It's just something fun. And it's, go online. It was, wait a second, I have this hat. Maybe I can make it red. I can dye it. And I dyed it. We got it the right color, colored the star white, and went, that'll work at least for the first game or two. And then I can figure it out after that. And it just kind of, everybody sort of liked it. And thought, that's really fun. Good. Keep doing that.
There you go.
All right, cool. I'll keep doing that. That's all right.
There you go, man. That's awesome. I'll just get to the next one. So you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but what goes into preparing for a game as the hype man? It seems like you're on go all the time. So I don't know if there's much preparing needed.
I'm at the arena usually 3-ish hours before the game. I like to be early. Just kind of walk the field, talk to a couple players if they're around. Try not to take up their day because they have more important things to do than talk to me. But then it's some of the promotions I know about ahead of time, and I'll kind of just gauge. Sometimes I'll walk into a section that I know I'm going to be doing some work in, just to kind of get a feel for it before there's a bunch of people around. And then it's, trying to, I try and memorize where all the sponsors are all the way around the field. So that way I can mention it when I need to, or be in that area when I need to be during a game. But then it's, we have a game ops meeting a couple hours before the game. Goes through our entire script of when different promotions will be, when I need to be on the field, when I need to be in the stands, the interaction that I need to have with our PA announcer Dustin, and it's just kind of okay, all right, here, we should do this. And then sometimes it's critiques, but hey, last game you did this, don't do that, or do that more, whatever it is, change this. However, I'm all for constructive criticism. So whatever it is to figure out how to make the day go. So it's an ever evolving thing. It's earpieces in the whole time, talking to Dustin, and we're going back and forth on how should we do this, and we're both giving each other suggestions the whole time.
Okay.
As well
nice.
As he's up in the booth and he's getting stuff so he can hear more than I can hear. And
okay. Can you describe the atmosphere you aim to create with your hype activities?
Fun. I just want it fun. Like, it's I'm kind of loud. I'm sometimes really loud. I'm usually hoarse the next day, and sometimes for a few days. But I want everybody to go home and be like, wow, that was a great time. When you go to work on Monday and somebody said, oh yeah, you went to the Marshall game, didn't you? Hey, how was that? And I want, somebody go, but like, oh, it was awesome. Be like, oh, did you guys win? And my hope is that you don't remember. Like just for a second, that you just kind of forgot. Be like, oh, it was a great time. Oh yeah, we did win. Or oh no, we didn't win. I want you just to have to hesitate on that because you didn't think about, just what the football score was. I wanted you to think about the whole night. I'm not, we're all there for football, but I'm there for almost more for the people that don't care about football. Somebody that just wants to go have a fun Saturday night and just go out and do, bring your kids to a thing. Maybe it's a date. Maybe it's just a couple of buddies, whatever it is. I want you to go to that and I want you to have a great time no matter what's going on. So just be like, oh, that was fun. They did this really fun promotion, whatever it was, during halftime or something. Whatever is, I want smiles. I want laughs. I want people yelling and making noise and just have a good time all the way through.
There you go. And how are you keeping your energy on 100 this whole time during the game?
Caffeine. I don't know. I think I just kind of naturally do it. I don't know that there's any real trick to it other than just trying to be like, oh, here, we got to go. And it's maybe a little bit of drive on no, I want people to have fun. Come on, let's go. And it's, part of it's to motivate the team. It's the making noise and not, when to make noise, all that kind of stuff. But I want people engaged. People engaged are the ones that are going to come back again. And if people are bored, then, it's kind of we got free tickets from somebody. Oh, well, we're not going back because it was fine. It wasn't really anything that great. I want it to be fun. I want you to be like, oh, wow, that was really cool. We should come again. I want to go again. That's the whole idea. So that's what I want for people. It's when there's more people, it's more fun. It's more fun for me too. And I know that if I don't have fun, nobody else is going to have fun. So I have to keep my energy level really high just for myself, just to keep going.
Shoot, man, I was going to ask you, the most challenging aspect, but I mean, that kind of sounds like one of your biggest challenges right there is just making sure that you're bringing that energy. Do you have any other?
It's just bringing energy. It's trying to create, working with the game ops team to try and create fun activities that we'll do with, interacting with fans. It's always better to have fans involved with everything. Everybody likes having, whatever person, because that could be them the next time. I try and space it out and try and get new people for every game to do different stuff. So it's always a challenge to try and do that, and it's trying to keep that energy high for everybody is always a trick. It's like Noise Guy said, people go nuts for t-shirts. So people go nuts for free stuff all the time. So it's it's the people don't understand how loud you can make somebody by giving 8,000 people 14 t-shirts at one time, where it's because you got a chance at something that keeps it going. So it's just the way that goes. So it's we give out 100+ t-shirts every night. The odds you're not getting one, but you might get one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's fun to cheer, but I don't think people realize that cheering by yourself isn't very fun. Yelling and having that by yourself, it's kind of weird and uncomfortable. But if you have 500 people all within 30 feet of you that are also doing it, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, and then you get that into the thousands of people. That's amazing. That's a great time. That smiles all the way around. So that's always it's, if I can create that, then we're having fun. And my job gets so much easier if people are engaged and having a good time.
There you go. Speaking of creating that, do you have any favorite hype phrases or chants that you use during games?
We'll do the standard, defense chant on occasion, some of that. I'll just jump in and, we'll try and, when we have a first down, try and get people make noise about that. When we have a big, third down going on. When our defense has could have a great third down stop type of thing. It's whatever I can do. It's really just making people make noise. I don't necessarily get them to chant anything. I should probably work on that. It's a good idea.
Gotta get the wave going.
Yeah, whatever it is, get people on their feet and moving, and somebody sitting down the whole time is not having that great of a time. I want you, you don't have to stand the whole time, but I want you up and down a number of times just to have fun. If you're there with your kids, have fun. Be crazy, and your kids will love it all the more. So, be that example for your kid. They want to yell and scream. You also want them to yell and scream. They'll sleep way better that night. So it's, just go. And I'm on the mic constantly trying to get people amped up and be like, hey, we need help on this third down for our defense. Come on, help them out. Come on, Marshall fans.
I feel like that's one thing I did notice last season, man. You guys were super interactive with the crowd. I feel like even, just watching the games, I'd see a lot of that going on. So
yeah, you don't necessarily see me during that time. I'm usually, most of the time I'm on the floor on the low level, but I'm walking around. You'll see me constantly moving. I don't stay in one spot for more than maybe 2 plays, and then I'm moving on. And that's just because I was talking to a sponsor and, shaking babies and kissing hands and
right.
Doing all that kind of fun stuff and making good face with everybody and trying to just trying to engage. Those sponsors are why we're there. So I want them happy and involved, and then I like to go up in the stands when I can, go up on the way up in the top level. Let's just have fun. Like, let's get people involved. However it is, let's have a good time.
Right. There you go. I was gonna say, I think you kind of mentioned it earlier. You said that you communicate with Dustin on your earpiece, but how, aside from that, how do you collaborate with other members of the team, such as like the noise guy, and John?
We'll talk on the phone. We'll talk before and after games. Dustin and I often end up going out after the game to the wherever the post party is. Or post game is, and it's kind of we're very polite about it, but it's okay, hey, we should, it's how we should do this. When we did this part during the game, this is how that went. That could have been better if we did this, or that was really great how that worked out. It's kind of the mental note, do that again, whatever the particular thing was. So okay. We're right on top of each other to, hey. And even in our, we're talking back and forth, and we'll have an earpiece in. It's kind of hey, you should do this right now. Say this, do this. Maybe it's even just to interact with me. Is one of us will tell the other one to start this conversation so we can interact in that way. And it's just, however it is, we'll talk to the guy that's writing game script, and it tell them, be like, hey, this was really cool, we should try to do this, whatever it is. Most of the team seems pretty open to suggestion, just to try, because we're all going for the same goal. We all want everybody having a good time. We want people to come back. We want them to talk about the game. There
you go, man. And are you on social media? How can people get a hold of you?
On my own little bit. People can certainly reach out. Wyatt Turf probably really should have his own social media. So that TBD on that one. We'll see if we can get an Instagram page going or something.
Yeah, we'll have to get you one going. If not, we'll make you one, man, over here at Shady Sports. We'll get you one going. Heck yeah, man. Any last words, any last thoughts before I let you go?
It's let's just go have fun. Whatever it is, let's have a good time. You see me at games, please come talk to me. I need volunteers for promotions. We're going to have a lot of that this year. I like to change it up. I like new people every time. So if you see me at a game, please come say hi. Just saying hi is amazing. That's great. I love it. So yeah, say hi. Hey, can I do a thing this week? Can I, be part of some game, whatever it is. So yeah, thank you for coming to games. Go Marshals.
There you go, man. There you go. Hey, thanks for coming on, Wyatt Turf. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right, appreciate it, bud.
Definitely. Have a great day. All right, guys. That was Chad Koscak, or Wyatt Turf, aka Wyatt Turf, hype band for the Marshals. as I said, it's a very special episode. We'll go ahead and keep it moving. Next up, we're going to have the voice of the Marshals, Dustin James, who is the Marshals in-game announcer. What's going on, Dustin?
Hey, Mr. Green, how are you doing?
I am doing great, man. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Enjoying the weekend.
There you go, man. Hey, thanks for hanging around, too. I'll go ahead and jump right into it. How did you get into the role of being the Marshals in-game announcer?
It's actually kind of a funny story, really. So my kid played hockey. And they, like every youth sports, they need volunteers to fill roles. And we needed to get our hours. And I didn't want to really ride the Zamboni or do this or that or clean the bleachers. And I seen that on the sign-up form that you could announce the games. And I just wanted to get it all done in one day. I didn't want to go multiple nights so I went on a Saturday and I announced, 8-year-old hockey all the way to the varsity level from 8 a.m. in the morning. And I was there till about 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I could not talk. It was pretty rough, but I realized that I loved it. And so then I already met my hours, but I was doing it, and I was volunteering and announcing in like my brother-in-law's for his kid, helping him fill his hours, and just got more and more involved. And then there's a development hockey program in town as well, the Badlands Sabres, and they reached out to me and asked if I'd do their play-by-play. So I did their play-by-play, and I would say 3/4 away through the season, then Wes and Rebecca called me saying, "Hey, we'd like to meet with you about being our in-game announcing." And so I met with Wes and his sister, and here we are working on season 2.
That's awesome, man. That's really amazing. What do you enjoy most about being the voice of the Marshals then during these games?
What I really enjoy is being able to work with the crowd. I just being up in the crow's nest, when I get on that mic, if I ask them to do something, like this year towards the end of the year, I found my niche to where I can make them just go crazy. So it took a while to figure out what I needed to do. Every announcer has their own thing. I could take somebody else's tricks, but I wanted to find my own, and I got my own. And just by saying a couple of words, I can literally, from the bird's eye view, I can watch everybody stand and start screaming. Mm-hmm. And watching that, it just kind of it gives me chills, because I'm just as big of a fan as everybody else.
There you go, man. Did you? And this is a little off task, but did you see yourself being an announcer, before your son was playing hockey? Is that something you had ever thought about?
Not at all. No, yeah. Because you don't really, when you go to a game, you don't think of it. You think of play-by-play when you watch it on TV, but when you're in person, it's a different world. Like, somebody's saying something, and you listen, and you fulfill what they ask, or make some noise, or they give you the information of the play, but it's kind of like that back thought that doesn't really ring a bell, and I never wanted to be on TV or anything like that, like the play-by-play guys are. So no, it was never even a thought.
Okay. So, can you share a memorable moment, a memorable announcing moment? I think you just kind of mentioned one, you kind of started to touch on how you said, you found your niche where you can say certain things now and get the crowd on their feet. Was there a specific moment that you can think of where you realized that?
Yeah. It was the first time I did it. I did it one time each game, because I'm a big believer personally on not overdoing something that's working. So first time I ever did it during the game, and if you come to a game next year, just by this interview, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it, but just the environment in the whole arena changes, and it's crazy. That's my most memorable. I could share another least memorable moment. I don't know. It's kind of a funny story, but So my first game I ever announced for the Marshals, it was an appreciation, thank you, introduction night for Mr. Wes Johnson and Rebecca Chapman, and I announced them as Mr. and Mrs. Wes Johnson.
Oh man.
But they are brother and sister, and I you know what I mean? I missed the memo. We all joke about it now, but I'm up in the crow's box and I can see Rebecca's face. She's like,
Wow. Dang, man. Well, I'm glad you came back from that. Going on to the next one, how do you maintain enthusiasm and clarity in your announcements throughout the game?
So that's probably the easiest part of announcing for me because of, like I said earlier, I'm just as much of a fan as everybody else. So I just, instead of screaming like I normally would when I'm at a game, I just enunciate what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling at that moment, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm just a fan with a microphone that just kind of tones his voice down a little bit so you can hear what I'm saying.
There you go.
And so it just kind of goes with the flow.
Okay. What kind of preparation goes into announcing player names and game updates? Do you sit there and, do you go Anchorman style and work out your words before the game, or work out? Some of these names are kind of crazy too.
Yeah, so that's probably the most difficult part of what I do because I go to the field hours before the game, not to de-stress or some people need to adapt to their surroundings. None of that. I'm pretty go with the flow, but I have to go and talk to all the players and get their first and last name nonchalantly. I can't just go line them up, and it's hard to chase them down as they're warming up. So I got to get them when they're over here, and because I don't want to bother them as well. Because if I pronounce their name wrong during that introduction before the game starts, I have had players tell me it affects because they're proud of that. They worked hard for that moment, for them to walk out and hear their name and people cheer. Like that's their moment, Everything else is a team, but that's their moment. And for me to ruin that, it affects their game, and they tell me about it. So
Understandable.
That's the most difficult thing that I do is I have to be able to pronounce their names correctly.
Okay. And that's cool that you go and you go and you pay attention to that, because I feel like I have heard like some announcers, like you hear it in pro sports all the time, multiple announcers pronouncing these names, and you hear it pronounced 5 different times, and finally the player will come out and they're like, you know what, just call me Meta, something crazy. So go ahead.
It's funny that you bring that up because, like I was saying earlier, when you were asking about being the in-game announcer and it being a back thought, so when they're constantly announcing it correctly, it's a back thought, but when it's pronounced wrong, it becomes the focal point,
That's very true, man. I hear you there, and I try to, I feel like I've slaughtered some names doing this, doing these interviews. So that's why I try to ask people before as well too. And that's the only way you'll know. If you don't ask, you won't know, and it just helps you do your job that much easier as well too. Because not only are you announcing their names, but you're the announcer. You're what everybody's listening to.
Right.
Kind of one of the first things that they hear. Is there any unique challenges you face as the in-game announcer besides some of those names?
The unique challenges would have to be timing. You can really see when it's the right time and when it's the wrong time after the fact, and that's a skill that's learned, as you through time. It's not something you can study because to get better at what I do, I can't watch a game on TV. You don't hear the announcer. You have to go to the event. And us being here in Rapid City, we don't have many options, So the unique challenges would be to master my timing. If I could time when to hype it up and when to slow it down and what exact plays to enunciate on, because my tone of voice when I announce it depicts on if it's good, bad, the flow of the play, and then how I do it as well as I watch Brandon Boit. I have to look down on the field, see what he's doing. If he's got a defense pant up, I work with him. It's like a nonverbal communication. I got Koscak in my earpiece, Wyatt turf. Mm-hmm. So it's just kind of a flowing machine that we all need to time it properly.
I was just about to ask, how do you adapt your announcing style to match the energy of the game? But I think you just kind of went through it. So it sounds like it's not just going in there the same every single game. It's definitely something different every single time. Right.
Yeah, it's a unique battle for sure every game because it's almost harder to announce when we're winning than it is when we're losing. Mm-hmm. So it's a unique concept that we need to work together. Us three, Brandon, myself, and Wyatt Turf. Brandon and I have, I don't really know if he knows much, but I got a lot of nonverbal communication with him. Just watching him work the crowds, I kind of can judge when I should help, when I shouldn't, because like he said, he uses his voice. Well, he's in a section. The whole arena can't hear him,
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I also he's doing that as the plays are going. I'm watching the play, who caught the ball or how much yards. It's a lot going on in the Crow's Nest.
I bet, man, you got to keep track of all, and just watching the game, trying to keep track of it, but then trying to, where's Brandon at? Where's this guy going right now? That's awesome, man. Where can people find you on social media?
Yes, sir. I got a Facebook, just at Dustin James. I post a lot of information and things like that about the football team. If they'd like to get together and know more, there's with this moving up to this AFL league, there's going to be new rules. It's going to be a lot more high tempo scoring. So I'm super nervous about that because it's going to be so fast. So I'm going to have a big challenge this year, a little learning curve, but I'll overcome it. And yeah, if they want to learn about the new rules, anything, I'm available. I'd love to get together and create kind of a little fan base.
There you go, man. Any advice for anybody out there wanting to maybe get into announcing games?
Work with the youth. That's how I got here. Youth sports are in need of it. Volunteers, and your time will come. You'll get the phone call.
There you go. Heck yeah, Dustin. Well, man, thank you for coming on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well, man. You have a great day. All right, guys. Like I said, this is going to be a special episode. We had all the game day ops people on, just showing us how they get it done, or just, kind of giving us a peek into a bit of what they do. And, just from that, you see, they do a lot, man. And, we have these players and these coaches, they're putting their game plans together and they're coming in and training. You see, these guys have to come in and get their game plan, together as well, too. So it was really cool to, jump into that side of the house and talk to these guys. And I'm sure we'll have them on throughout the season. So, look forward to that. Look forward to seeing what they have to tell us as we go along, and maybe they'll reveal some of their secrets. Thanks again for joining me on another amazing episode of Marshall's Law. Thanks to Sam for handling the edits and putting this all together. Thanks to John, Brandon, Wyatt, and Dustin for joining us, as well as the entire Rapid City Marshals organization for rocking with us over here at Shady Sports Network. You guys watching, you go ahead and head over to marshallsfootball.com to get the schedule that you see behind me and purchase those season tickets. You can also use our code Shady10 for a discount on those already amazing prices. Then you can head over to arenafootballusa.com for all the Arena Football League updates, as well as the full league schedule. Then come on back to our page, ShadySportsNetwork.com, your gateway to endless excitement and exclusive content. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe for updates. Awesome, guys. And then we also have the answer to last week's trivia question. And then after that, we're going to have this week's trivia question. So don't forget to put your answers in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer.